I had 2 losing positions and I had 1 winning position, and that 1 winning position covered those 2 losing positions and then some. So that goes to show that your risk management has to be on point, because it doesn't matter what your strike rate is if you are managing your money correctly. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lewis, and if this is the first time that you're tuning into my YouTube channel, this is the series where I am just documenting my trading journey, and apart from that, also trying to turn $1,000 into $10,000. I appreciate your time as always, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and share with somebody who is also on their trading journey and can learn something or take something from this series. I am not striving to be a guru or a teacher. I am purely just documenting my trading journey. This is like my video diary, I guess, or my video journal of my trading progress, because I want to be able to look back and see what I was struggling with while I was learning to trade. Make sure you stick to the end, because I have something very important I want to talk about. Yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, because the last video was like 30 minutes long edited, and that is just too long for me. I want to keep it 20 minutes and below for every episode of the series. Let's get right into the charts. Let's not waste any time, and I'll see you there. All right, as you can see here, this is the week that we just had. As you can see, it was a very undecisive week, meaning it was just consolidating within the same range, basically staying within this daily SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, which I thought would have honestly rejected from, and then it came down to clear out these lows. Like I said, you have to do your analysis on the dollar to be able to see what is going on. So you can see we were inside this buy side imbalance, or BISI, on the daily with the dollar, and we ended up coming up and then getting back inside this buy side imbalance, but now it is working as an inverted fair value gap, which is rejecting price lower. Next week, I don't want to talk too much about my analysis, but next week I am expecting prices to draw lower just because of how this is reacting, but we'll just have to see how Monday plays out. I don't want to say too much as of right now. Markets are closed. I will do my analysis in terms of just cleaning up my charts a bit more on Sunday, like I always do. That is the reason why euro went up. It was because the dollar came out of this buy side imbalance and then inside this other buy side imbalance that's higher, which is now acting as a inverted fair value gap, which is just gonna send price lower. As of right now, it is rejecting price lower, which is the better way of saying it. But let's head back into euro and talk about the actual trades that I ended up taking this week. I was a lot more disciplined this week than I was the previous week, and I think that just comes from taking those losses that I did this previous week. But all right, so I'm showing you the 4 hour before I get into Tuesday, because I want to talk about something. What I've been doing is, since I trade during the kill zones and I was expecting this week to draw lower, I saw it coming into the Tuesday trading, because I did not trade on Monday. That is part of my plan. I plan not to trade on Mondays when it's a no high impact news Monday, because I just want to use Monday as a way to gain more information and trying to find out the expansion for the weekly candle. So as you can see here, I was expecting lower prices. So when I came into the charts on Tuesday and I seen this buy side imbalance on the 4 hour, I was expecting price to come up into this buy side imbalance and then reject and go lower, hopefully towards these lows down here. This is very important, because I've caught myself waiting for a price to actually get up here and then reject, which takes the whole session, which is actually the move of that day. What tends to happen is, if something like this sets up, this move up will be one day, and then if it rejects from that sell side imbalance, the next day will be the move down. So what I was doing was I was waiting for price to come up here to then take a short from up here and see where it took me from there, which would have worked. All right, sorry about that. I was actually talking about that on Wednesday. That is what happened on Wednesday. Tuesday was a completely different story. I can't remember too well what I ended up taking on Tuesday, because this is very clean and very apparent. The fact that I didn't catch this trade kind of makes me question what happened on Tuesday, because extremely clear now that it's hindsight, but maybe at the moment I didn't catch what was going on. Maybe I was taking longs, maybe I think I might have been taking shorts around here after we cleared this buy side liquidity and price just kept going higher. But if you can see, anybody with good eyes can really see what happened. I don't know if it's even clear on the 5 minute, but I don't know exactly what caused me not to take a trade. We swept buy side liquidity from Asia on Tuesday. Very clean ISO 2022 model. As you can see, fair value gap on the 5 minute right here, which is even cleaner on the 15 minute. But as you can see, I'll mark it out for y'all. All right, I marked it out for y'all. This is the sell side imbalance that I saw on the 15 minute. Maybe I think what ended up happening was I took two short, or I think I took one small trade on Tuesday and then didn't know what was gonna end up happening, but it's pretty clear what happened. We swept buy side, we created a fair value gap, and then we had all these relatively equal lows, which would have been perfect to target. I don't know why I didn't target these and take this trade on Tuesday, but this is extremely clean. I don't know if this is just because now I'm, you know, paying more attention to my sweeps of liquidity, which I don't know how to really explain it, but it is extremely clear what this trade should have been, which is this short down to these lows, which would have been a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I don't know why I didn't take this trade. Can't remember too much, but it's even more apparent on the 15-minute that this was the actual trade of the day for Euro. At least the best trade in my eyes. It could be different for somebody else. Somebody in London session could have took this trade over here, something over here leading up to taking this buy side liquidity from Asia and maybe held up to here, but I don't understand why I think I took one long or one short after we swept liquidity initially and then ended up getting stopped out and then just decided to watch price. If I go through my notes, I want to see what I wrote on my notes in my journal on Tuesday. Yeah, I had only one position on Tuesday and I said I was confused on what direction I thought price would draw to. If I was thinking like that, I should have just not traded. I followed my rules of taking one position and had a reduced risk on that position. Yeah, so I was confused because I saw price drawing higher on Tuesday and maybe I thought that it was gonna go for this high while I was trading, but it's pretty clear to see that we was just drawing higher to trick people into going long and then go short by taking out buy side liquidity and having these relatively equal lows down here. Was a perfect target, honestly, but I don't remember why I didn't take that trade. But let's just keep going. Wednesday, like I said earlier in the video, the move up is usually the day that I'm trying to trade. For some reason, I think that price is just gonna draw up there before ending the day and then go lower. I don't get it. On this day, I believe I took a short around this area right here and ended up getting stopped out once I saw price coming back up. But I called it too. I thought at first, I forget what time frame I was looking at. It might have been the 1 hour that I was paying attention to. I was looking at the 1 hour for this trade and I saw that we were inside this buy side imbalance. So I saw that we had closed below the consequent encroachment of this buy side imbalance, which is the halfway point of the buy side imbalance with this candle, and then we were starting to draw lower. And when I saw that on the 15-minute, let me go back to the 15-minute, I saw that price was just drawing lower and lower. Now looking back at it in hindsight, I should have just seen what was actually happening, which was price was drawing lower to this 15-minute order block. As you can see, it respected the medium threshold of the order block with the bodies of the candles being in the top quadrant and the wicks poking through. But I remember watching this, I saw it coming lower and I gave up on the idea of the fair value gap on the 1 hour. It makes a lot of sense because this was the candle that ended up coming down, sweeping liquidity below the Asia lows, which was the order block, was the last down close candle before the move up. I should have honestly took a trade as soon as we got into the order block and targeted what I thought was going to happen, which was price going into that 4 hour sell side imbalance. Once I saw it come up here, once I got into the market, I kind of gave up on the idea of price coming up here. So that's why I was looking for shorts, and it just didn't make sense because price wasn't just going to leave this area up here not balanced, which is what the algorithm does. It delivers price efficiently. But I could have easily took a short, had my stop at the bottom of the order block and targeted the bottom of that 4 hour sell side imbalance, which was right here. And as you can see, it was a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Again, in hindsight, now that I'm looking at it, it's very clear. We had swept sell side liquidity, leaving buy side wide open. We had a higher time frame target above, so I don't know why I was looking for a sell. I let this manipulation trick me and I paid for it. And even after that, you can see I marked this sell side imbalance right here, and as you can see, once it came into the sell side imbalance, it dropped off. But it was already too late into the day for me to even take a trade. I don't take any trades later on in the day for Forex. So yeah, I don't understand how I didn't see both these trades. I could have had a perfect week this week now that I'm looking at it in hindsight. But yeah, let's just go into what I ended up seeing the next day, which was extremely perfect. On Thursday was the best trade of the week. I caught the news. It was a very good trade. Like you guys know, I had a horrible week last week. I had, out of my 5 trades, I won 0. It was absolutely horrible. So then starting out the week with these 2 losses, which could have been very simple wins, and I would have had a flawless week this week if I would have just been paying attention. But I don't know. Hopefully this carries on into next week. Coming into the news for Wednesday, I saw that the only thing we did to get into that sell side imbalance was this little wick, and I thought for some reason that is just not going to be enough. I really did not think that was going to be enough. And then if we go back into the dollar index on Thursday, I noticed that we had come up here into the buy side imbalance, and there was was on the daily, if I wasn't mistaken. As you can see, I thought that since we were already up here on Thursday before news, I saw that it started rejecting a bit, and this was becoming an inverted fair value gap. And I saw that we had this buy side imbalance lower, which meant that if the dollar went lower, that euro was gonna go higher, and that is exactly what I went for. So you can see on the 4 hour, we totally crushed that 4 hour sell side imbalance and closed way above it. But my thought process was, let me get the low hanging fruit on this day and take my win, because I honestly was frustrated that I hadn't won a trade in about a week and a half already. So what I did coming in, I saw we were drawing lower and swept sell side liquidity from Asia. So London was just a big down move, and then when I got into the market, I saw that we started coming up and then went back down. Once we came down and swept this sell side, I saw that we started to come back up. Once I saw that and I knew that we had that higher time frame objective higher, I was actually going to enter on this 3-minute candle if I could find it. This is what I was going to enter from. I was going to enter off of here and had my stop below these lows and had my target above the highs of Asia. So this should have been the initial trade. It would have been a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. That's not the trade that I ended up taking because I was distracted and had to take it on the candle close. So I got in about here, which was a 1.2. So it was a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, and I ended up catching that move. I ended up closing a bit early. I was targeting originally the lows of the 4 hour fair value gap, and the reason why I got out was, like I said, I wanted some low hanging fruit. I wanted my win to get in and out of the market. I literally, this trade was less than 10 minutes. But yeah, I was originally targeting the bottom of that fair value gap, but I should have targeted way higher than that, maybe the top or consequent encroachment of that fair value gap, which would have gave me a 1 to almost 4 risk to reward ratio. But I wasn't mad. Like I said, that's what I was doing. That's what I planned to do after. I wanted not to be greedy on this day and just get out at a reasonable level and just, you know, take my win and move on with my day and keep studying, because this should have been a flawless week. I should have gone 3 for 3. I didn't trade on Friday, and the reason why I didn't trade on Friday, as you can see here, just move on to Friday really quickly, because that's basically all I had to say on this day. We swept sell side liquidity and we had the higher time frame objective with the lower objective on the dollar, which just made sense. If the dollar was going to go down, Euro USD was going to go up, and that was my thought process for that day. I ended up smashing way through that expectation. Yeah, I should have held a runner, but since I am in drawdown, I've been having a smaller position until I got out of drawdown, and then once I get out of drawdown, I'll get back to my regular position. It wasn't even worth taking a partial at the highs of Asia and then letting the rest run, because I just thought I would have more profit if I just closed the whole position. That is the price that I paid, and I just had to live with it because it was my conscious decision. As you can see here, we had news late in the morning today at 10 with this big candle down. This is what I saw coming into the market. I came into the market around 9, if I'm not mistaken, and I saw that we had created this 15-minute buy side imbalance after we swept sell side liquidity of London, and then we started to move up. So what I was waiting for was for price to just retrace and get into that buy side imbalance for my long. I was gonna take my long position in here, and this was gonna be my first target with the buy side liquidity above the London highs, and then my second target was gonna be this high from Monday. But as you can see, with news, price just ended up coming all the way down and taking out the sell side liquidity. So it was more of a search and destroy type of day. I'm gonna keep my hypothesis going to see what I really find out about this. What I need to really see is on days where we have news, especially on Fridays when we have news, there's usually tends to be no retracement after the news or right before news, in terms of, as you can see, just kept coming up, and it was a turtle soup. I've noticed, I think it was, I have another day in my head right now, but I know more than once this has happened when there was news and price came up, took out buy side, and then the news ended up just coming back down and taking out sell side. So more of, like I said, a search and destroy type of day after this consolidation. But this would have been a perfect trade in my eyes, honestly, because we were consolidating. We ended up coming down, sweeping sell side liquidity, which is, you know, consolidation, manipulation, distribution. If it would have came down on this candle, touched it, and then went up, I would have had that. I would have took that trade. But I stayed within my rules. I said I wasn't gonna trade. If it didn't do that, it didn't do that. It only came down into this area after the news. But if you could see this big candle, I was not gonna enter in here after that big candle because it's too long of a candle. I was just gonna watch price after that. I wasn't gonna risk taking that trade. But that was my trading week. I had 2 losing positions and I had 1 winning position, and that 1 winning position covered those 2 losing positions and then some. So that goes to show that your risk management has to be on point, because it doesn't matter what your strike rate is if you are managing your money correctly. That is everything that I have to say in terms of this trading week. Now I can talk about what what actually I have planned. I'm not gonna announce it in this video. The actual balance of the account popped up in the corner. I said I was gonna show that at the end of the video, and there it is. But apart from that, the deal has been done. You know how they say the deal is not complete until the money hits your account. The money has hit the account. I have something very, very exciting coming up, something that obviously has to do with trading and this YouTube series, and I'm extremely excited to announce it. It's just a matter of time. If I don't have it ready in the next video, it will definitely be in the one after that, but I think everything will be ready for the next video. Let's just see how it plays out for the rest of the week. I'm recording this on Friday the 11th, so I have the rest of this weekend and then next week to coordinate everything, but I'm extremely excited. You don't want to miss out on this. It's gonna be a fun journey. It's gonna be a fun adventure, but I am excited to share it with you. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much for 710 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I can't be any more grateful. I want to thank the man upstairs and you, because you are making this possible. Thank you so much for the support on the reels and on Instagram as well. I am just documenting my trading journey. Like I said, I'm gonna master trading, and I want you guys to see the ups and downs. I want to be as authentic as possible and show you what trading really is, because I do see a lot of people selling the dream of what trading can be with amounts of hard work and sacrifices and obviously time. But like I say every video, submit the time, learn the skill, master your craft, and you will reap the rewards. Apart from that, I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.